following video will answer important questions regarding the afterlife, including the following. What happens after we die? Does the spirit live on after death? Is there any punishment or reward in the afterlife? Do we reincarnate? How do we reincarnate? Part 1. Life after death. Think back to your beginning and know that your real beginning began far earlier. Your consciousness has arisen from a cycle before this one, and it has projected itself all the way to advanced intelligent life. While we have eons of learning still ahead of us, we have come a long way. Let us not take our position for granted, for as hard as it is to push forwards, it's more painful to reverse. Ahead of us, a brilliant light shines. It is the light of ascension. Our souls are eternal, and our spirit is ever-changing and evolving. Our bodies are a temporary vessel that our consciousness attaches to for a brief excursion, one lifetime, to experience the material realms. Our consciousness is an energy state, and just as the law of conservation of energy states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only passed to different forms, our energy state of consciousness will not be destroyed when our physical body breathes its last breath. We will transform into the state of a spirit, no longer tethered to the physical world. This process is more ancient than time. Our essence is primordial. Only our consciousness argues otherwise, because our consciousness, in its current state, is limited to the wetware of our brains. Consider for a moment the brain as a highly advanced computer system. When we enter a new life, our operating system initializes with a clean slate, devoid of any pre-existing data in its storage. The memory banks are empty, requiring us to reinstall and relearn everything from the ground up, starting with fundamental basics, such as our ABCs. In a previous existence, we might have mastered reading and other complex skills, but those data files are no longer accessible. They have become corrupted or lost, residing in a different neural architecture whose previous user has long since vacated. The spirit remembers, but it can't store information like the brain can. It sends messages through impulse, feeling, and vibration. When we say something resonates with us, usually it is the spirit recognizing something and sending us messages that this is important to pay attention to. After we pass from life into death, we enter a period of review where we are shown memories that span our entire lifetime. In this process, the soul is shown all of the far-reaching consequences of their actions and guided through mistakes, trials, and triumphs. There is no chance for denial here. The soul will see all the ways in which it fell short. It will see plainly, from a third-person perspective, how selfish choices affect others, as well as how some small, benevolent actions can have meaningful impact. The soul can even ask, "What if?" during the review, and be shown alternative timelines of events. All of these memories show the soul where it went wrong and teach it, without failure, how to do better in the next life, if it is to be recycled. The soul is given all the answers before the test, then pushed through the birthing canal into innocent forgetfulness. A new brain means new memories, and while the spirit may send us strong impulses to influence us one way or another, we will have no conscious awareness of the time before our new life. Part 2. Reincarnation through multiple worlds. We don't always incarnate on Earth. We've had many lives on other planets, in other galaxies, in other star systems, all with varying degrees of advancement. Our cycle is open to any life form with advanced consciousness, marked by behavior such as language, culture, and technology. Other worlds offer different opportunities for growth, each one with unique challenges. If we were to access our memories, some of them would look inexplicably bizarre. Different worlds have different laws of physics, different degrees of advancement, and different behavioral characteristics. There are worlds that are somewhat similar to ours, and there are worlds with characteristics that are so strange, if we were to view them, we would have no idea what we were looking at. All of these varied experiences lend to the development of our conscious, and as we stumble through life after life, we slowly grow to know how to better direct ourselves in the physical and spiritual worlds. Ultimately, the goal is ascension, but we cannot get there before we are ready. Even advanced species on other planets struggle in similar ways, each incarnation striving to reach the same enlightened state. Part 3. Karmic Law and the Next Incarnation. Contrary to popular belief, we do not witness souls reaping the punishment for their harmful behavior as the victim of their own crimes in the next life. The next life is usually random, although some souls who have advanced far enough to be close to ascension have the ability to select an available vessel. Instead, we often see the spirit birthed into a new life with the same predicament as they left the last one. If a person lived selfishly and took advantage of others, we often see them continue this behavior, pulling the same trials into their path as before. In this way, we invoke our own karma. Our struggles mean our suffering when we continue to live this way life after life. We can relieve ourselves of our pain when we admit our faults and change our perspectives, altering both our behavior and vibrational state. A passage from the manuscript, The Young Man and the Sage, says it best. Karma states that the actions that we take do have a long-term effect on our soul. The mistakes that we make, our actions that have negative impacts on the world, do come back to us in one form or another. We must learn why our actions were harmful in this life or the next. This is not divine retribution. It is more like a sore on our soul that pulls trials into our path because we are broken. Our suffering lasts as long as we continue to make the same mistakes until we mend our souls. One day, whether after death or arrest, we must come face to face with our crimes. We must come to an understanding of why our behavior was wrong and then be faced again with the same trials. If we have learned our lesson, we may move on. If not, we remain in the same predicament as before. After death, some wounds and traumas can persist if the spirit has difficulty forgiving and letting go of the chains of fear, guilt, and other negative emotions. These unresolved issues are carried forward into the next incarnation, showing up as inherent personality traits and tendencies. It's important to differentiate between spiritual trauma, which the spirit carries from past lives, and external trauma, which arises from experiences and upbringing in the current life. Spiritual trauma refers to deep-seated emotional and psychological wounds that the spirit holds across lifetimes. For example, someone might be born with a deep sense of anxiety or fear, seemingly without any external cause. This could be unresolved trauma from a previous life where the spirit struggled with fear and insecurity. Another example is persistent guilt or shame. An individual might carry an inexplicable sense of guilt, stemming from past actions or experiences that weren't fully processed and integrated in a previous incarnation. Then there are unexplained phobias. A person might have an irrational fear of water, heights, or certain animals, which can be rooted in past life traumas. Addressing these spiritual traumas requires a multifaceted approach. Recognizing and acknowledging these inherent traits and traumas is the first step towards healing. By consciously working through these deep-seated issues with self-compassion and a commitment to personal growth, the spirit can begin to heal. This healing process prepares the spirit for a more enlightened and balanced existence in future incarnations, breaking free from the cycle of negative emotions and unresolved traumas. Central to this healing process is the concept of forgiveness. Forgiveness is the act of letting go as if the events never happened. It involves releasing the hold that past experiences have on us, whether those experiences involve others or ourselves. By practicing forgiveness, we can address the deep-seated wounds of the spirit, allowing for true emotional and psychological liberation. Through forgiveness, self-compassion, and conscious effort, the spirit can heal and grow, preparing for a more enlightened existence in future incarnations. Part 4. Why are we here? The material world is our spiritual training ground. We are here because we are flawed. Until we can learn to live altruistically and heal our spiritual, emotional, and mental illnesses, we will continue to inhabit these realms. Consider the material world as a vast school, a place designed to teach us through experience. Each challenge, joy, and sorrow we face serves as a lesson, guiding us toward greater understanding and wisdom. In this world, we encounter countless opportunities to grow, learn, and evolve. We are here to gain experience, which is the only way we can progress. At our current level of consciousness, we cannot mature in the spiritual realms. We need the life experience to come to the understandings that will ultimately alter our consciousness and elevate our vibrations to higher states. Through each lifetime, we gather insights, overcome obstacles, and learn essential lessons about love, compassion, and humility. When we finally learn all the needed lessons, we will shed our need for the physical realms entirely, entering into the cosmic formless cycles. There, we will adapt to new environments with new parameters and expectations, just as we did in the cycles before. The parable of the stone and the sculptor. In an ancient village, nestled between rolling hills and a shimmering river, there lived a renowned sculptor named Arion. He was known far and wide for his ability to transform lifeless stones into breathtaking works of art. His hands could coax beauty from even the roughest of rocks. One day, Arion discovered an unassuming uncut stone in a nearby quarry. It was jagged and rough, lacking any semblance of form or grace. Yet Arion saw potential within it, a hidden beauty waiting to be revealed. He carefully transported the stone back to his workshop, eager to begin his work. As Arion began chiseling away at the stone, it resisted each strike of the hammer. The stone could not understand the sculptor's vision and felt only the pain of being chipped away. "Why must I endure this?" it thought. "I'm content as I am." But Arion continued, patiently and skillfully shaping the stone. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Gradually, the stone began to take form. It started to understand that each strike, each bit of removed roughness, brought it closer to revealing its true nature. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, casting a golden glow over the village, the stone could finally see the transformation taking place. It began to appreciate Arion's vision and the purpose behind the seemingly harsh blows. With each day, the stone grew more refined, its true potential emerging. Villagers would visit Arion's workshop, marveling at the stone's evolving beauty. "This will be your masterpiece, Arion," they said, and the sculptor would smile, knowing that both he and the stone were on a journey of discovery. Finally, after many months of meticulous work, Arion stepped back to admire his creation. The once rough, uncut stone had been transformed into a magnificent statue, full of grace and beauty. It stood tall and proud, no longer needing the sculptor's chisel. It had embraced its true form. Similarly, we are like the uncut stone. The material world, with all its challenges and experiences, is our sculptor. Each hardship and triumph shapes us, refines us, and brings us closer to our true, enlightened selves. Through this process, we learn the necessary lessons, shedding our rough edges and revealing the divine potential within. No matter what has happened to us, or what types of traumas we have endured, we have the power to choose our response. We can see ourselves as victims of the chisel's harshness, lamenting each strike, or we can embrace the process and learn from every blow. This choice will define us. Our failures are not final defeats, but lessons yet to be mastered, and with this perspective, fear loses its grip. By perceiving challenges as opportunities for growth, we transform our experiences into stepping stones toward enlightenment. Part 5. The Cycles. We traverse the cycles like a spiral of consciousness, starting with the simplest building blocks of life. We cannot reach the next stage until we become masters of the one we are in. They are akin to a cosmic school, where we first must master learning letters before we can jump to the next grade to learn how to read simple words. Then, not until we master reading can we move on to science, math, and language arts. Each cycle is defined by a specific frequency range, locking all souls with that resonance to only incarnate within those vessels. It's impossible for a soul to incarnate outside of its cycle. It wouldn't be able to match the frequency needed to attach. To jump to the next cycle is to significantly alter one's vibrational frequency to a new range, traversing into a different field of conscious awareness with newfound boundary conditions. Once this new range is reached, the soul will begin at the bottom of the new cycle, slowly gaining more conscious awareness through experience. Humans and animals are in different cycles, marked by different levels of conscious awareness. Animals are in the zoological cycle. This cycle includes all animals, including extremely simple organisms such as the flatworm, all the way to animals that show signs of complex thinking patterns such as monkeys, elephants, and dolphins. It demonstrates how instinct gives rise to experience and how consciousness explores simple tasks, slowly rising up the food chain and demonstrating ever-increasing complexities. There is no self-recognition in this cycle. The ego is not yet developed. Yet, different species of animals show a variety of human traits, including mourning the loss of a loved one, and logic and reasoning skills, as in mice navigating a maze, or monkeys solving logic puzzles for food rewards. These more advanced species are closer to making the leap into the next cycle, though such events are rare. Humans are in the anthropogenic cycle. This cycle is marked by the distinct trait of self-awareness. Our species broke the barrier from the zoological cycle to the anthropogenic cycle when we were able to declare, "I think, therefore I am." It's marked by advanced cognitive abilities such as language, technology, and culture. We have a slower frequency than the cycle before us, which expressed mathematically allows for a larger amplitude with the same energy, thus a larger scope of conscious awareness. We are animals of both mind and instinct, possessing the ability to become aware of the higher spiritual realms, while often succumbing instead to physical comforts and desires. This cycle takes countless lifetimes to master, and we see as wide a range of spiritual awareness in humanity as we do personality traits. As mentioned earlier, many of our incarnations have been in other worlds. Animals are linked to the planet they incarnate on. Our souls are linked partially to the cosmos, partially to the planet where we incarnate. This cycle marks the bridge between the formed and formless cycles. Once we fully ascend, we will enter into the next cycle as formless entities in the cosmos. Part 6. What does it take to ascend? To ascend, the need for the physical planes is to significantly alter one's consciousness and spiritual resonance to a state where the soul is no longer bound by material desires, resentments, or fears. We must learn all the needed lessons and reach a state of empathy, altruism, and disattachment. We are the only ones who can mold our spirits into the proper alignment. This requires us to dig into ourselves, face our faults of character, and grow past them. Then we must transcend our ego entirely, seeing all the varied shades of our real nature and embracing each one. We must find that we are fluid, spiritual beings, and we must forgive every piece of our past. The road behind us got us to the place we are today. If we continue to march forwards to a better light, we can be grateful that darkness is behind us. It gave us the foundation we needed to strengthen us and show us what we should and shouldn't become. No deity can mold our spirit for us. We can only do this for ourselves. We may be shown the door to the higher cycles, but until we alter our own frequency, we will not fit through the door or match the resonance of the higher planes. Our consciousness must alter. Our disruptive thoughts must be retuned. Our past mistakes don't cling to our souls like scars, sealing out fates. We are free to remove the festers of our less noble decisions, as long as we have shed our old ways and views. When we can embody a different light, we can leave the past behind us. rooted only as a necessary lesson in our steps towards greatness. Our morality system is fluid, based upon one solitary principle, unity, or the law of one. We now return to the words from the young man and the sage. This law states that all is one. The universal matrix is one heartbeat. Each individual consciousness is merely a portion of something much larger, inconceivably massive. We cannot live by this law and do harm to another, nor can we live by this law and in greed, lust, or otherwise consumed by material pursuits. It's a spiritual awareness that permeates the boundary between you and everyone else, the planet, and even the galaxy. Unity is the heartbeat through which all of life functions. Unity sees all forms and consciousness in the universe bound together to form a whole. All is one, and we are one with it. Divinity pierces through every organism. Our conscious direction is all that blocks us from the heavenly realms of enlightenment. In unity, the gods are as essential as the lowly microorganisms that populate planets and asteroids. Time is all that separates our consciousness from theirs and the animals from us. Unity demands independence first and charity second. It seeks the betterment of all, beginning with our own 2 feet. We must be responsible for ourselves whenever possible, then extend our actions beyond our own endeavors and help the weaker members of the group progress. We can only add strength to parts that are lacking if we have enough strength ourselves, and we're only as strong as our weakest points. Excess is only extra burden. It's an added weight which, like weight upon a net, weighs everything down. Unity sees each separate consciousness as one part of a bigger whole. It sees all opposite polarities and how they balance and bring equilibrium. Past deeds and future deeds are one here, as are expressed and unexpressed phenomena, and potential and current energy. All states exist here at once. There is nothing to forgive or prosecute. All creatures are part of a whole. The present moment is only one part of their grand evolution. Past actions are part of our growth, and the future is our unexpressed state. Unity understands that through growth, everything will one day become its opposite, and all opposite parts are needed to form a balanced unit. Part 7. Death is a transition. The key takeaways from our philosophy regarding the afterlife are as follows. Death merely is the end of a vessel. Our souls are eternal and ever-evolving. Our chances to learn, grow, and become enlightened are in the material realms. It is only through lifetimes of gained experience that we can learn to transcend the physical planes entirely. Only we alone can ensure our ascension. No deity can grant it for us. Growth does not end at ascension. Ascension merely means a rise to the next cycle. The number of cycles beyond our current one is many and unknown. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We hope it has answered many questions you may have had. If you enjoyed it and would like to stay updated on future videos, please share, like, and subscribe.